Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. Welcome. Man, it's Easter. It's Easter, Resurrection Sunday. Uh, he died so that we could live. And man, I don't think it's any other topic that we could talk about on today that would represent a portion of what we felt in our heart today for family, for our children, for our friendships, for our relationships in life other than love. I want to start by, man, I want to shout out the panel along with my co host, who they're off today, as they should be. It's Easter. It's a family holiday. It's a time where you should give your time by sharing life with the people you love. And so, with that, Anise, my co host, Alfred, April, Chad, Eddie, Alan, Lachey, Deborah, Raven. I love all you guys. Shapri. Um, thank you guys for helping me build my dreams. And that's just a place that where regular people come and talk about regular everyday life issues, everyday life problems, everyday life troubles in a positive manner. And you guys have lived some of the trauma that we discuss every single week here on Life Off the Bench. And so with that, that means that you aren't just overly educated people who are coming on talking about situations and problematic issues that you guys have not experienced on your own. And I think that's what sets us apart is that all of us have been through real life issues, real life struggles. And so, what better topic to talk about than broken love? Love is broken. Love went from a place of giving your all just because to a place of I only can love you if. And that if could be anything. That if could even mean your life. That if can mean your life. Let's start with um, this definition. This is a basic definition of love, an intense feeling of deep affection. Now that can tell us some things about you. That basic deep affection of love can tell us a couple of things about you. It can say that yes, you love you. Yes, you love you. It also can say yes, I love my parents. It also can say yes, I love my kids. But that's all it says because with love, it has to be some passion there. with love, it has to be, it must be some passion there. I don't know. You okay? Well, give me 1 second. I want to help some people today. I want to help some people today. I'm glad you guys asked uh, what passion is. And the basic definition of passion is strong and barely controllable emotion. So when you talk about love, you got to have some passion for that thing you love. And that's a barely controllable emotion. Kind of like if your child goes to school and does something good and or bad, that passion can be a good passion or it can be an enraged passion that barely keeps you from putting your hand around their neck and shaking the hell out of. Which, man, we may need to include that in some talking to some of the teachers I've talked to. Uh, that may need to happen because sometimes in our love for our children, we blindly allow them to act as if they've been raised by wolves in a barn with no walls, which is the bad part of love. Because we know, because we be, sometimes we say, oh man, I'm glad these damn kids gone. I'm glad they're at school, so I gotta have some peace today. You know your kid's bad. But yet you put that burden of broken love on someone else. Or the part where your child goes to school and does well in her his or her 6 or 9 week grading period, and they bring home a report that says they paid attention in class, that they may have studied or not, because some kids just get it. They can hear something one time, remember that thing in which they heard, and bam, good grades appear. Or there's a blind basic love that one has for dating someone or in dating someone uh, that one displays. And that also too can be good and or bad because we can on the plus. Now this is the negative. Yeah, this is a negative in everything in life. Yeah, yeah, we always highlight the negative so that we can get to the good. And that may be that you may blindly love someone because of the gifts they give you or the financial burden they take away from you. And that's a whole different kind of love because now you love someone because of a thing, not because of maybe who they are, because in who they are, maybe yes, they may be a great provider, but they may be an abuser, be it verbally or physically, or they may be an addict to a thing. And there we go again with that word or phrase again, a thing. And we don't know what that thing is. Only each individual person knows what it is that they're addicted to. Me, I'm addicted to food and life and high school athletics and truth. I'm okay with the truth because the truth is a part of love as well. And that's the part of life where even when it hurts, we can accept it because we know in our hearts it's right. I think I have that kind of relationship with a few people. My sister, a couple of my buddies, Alfred, BK, Kentrell, Chad, Eddie, Preston, Kenny Sykes, uh, Alan. Like they can tell me stuff. They can tell me anything, and I know it's coming from a place of love because they don't want to see me in a bind. They don't want to see me in a pickle, and that's friendship. That's love. Okay, let's look at this. Unconditional love, the selfless act of loving someone with a full acceptance and without expecting anything in return. Oh my Lord, look at that. See how that worked in? See how that it just felt right. You can't have friendship without having unconditional love. You cannot have friendship without having unconditional love. And in that process, this word is right here in our face again. It's called truth. Truth. It's called truth because we want everyone wants to be a part of what truth is. Everyone can't handle what truth brings though, because in bringing truth and understanding truth, accepting truth is all a part of love, which in its core value, it sometimes does not feel good. Oh, he hurt my feelings. She hurt my feelings. It didn't feel good. No, it never feels good, but it's gonna benefit you because now you see that thing in which they see. You feel that thing in which they feel. And it doesn't, the circle on it is not always a perfect circle, but yet still a circle because you know that person loves you, because you know that person has your best interest at heart. But then you got to go back and you got to look at it. And sometimes that truth comes from a thing that you don't know, a thing that you are unfamiliar with, because some of us are only used to getting unconditional love. Some of us has never stepped outside or walked outside of our box and loved someone just because. It doesn't matter that they have flaws. It doesn't matter that they're imperfect. Hell, we are all imperfect in some way or another. We all have not given our very best at one point or another. But can you own up to it? Can you own up to not being to not being the best friend you're supposed to be? And we've all been there. We've all been that friend that's given. We've all been that friend that's given less at one point or another. We've all been that friend that has taken more than we've received at one point or another. But can you be young man or young woman or man or woman enough to admit that you've been that friend before. I have. And I'm not talking about 40 years ago. And that's just how it happens sometimes. It doesn't mean that I'm ungrateful, but sometimes we're caught up in our own mess. Sometimes we're caught up in our own mess. And that mess can be wicked. It can be financial. It can be not feeling loved well. It can be trauma of multiple natures. A lot of people deal with trauma that we know nothing about. They're going through internal hurt that we know nothing about. So they can't give unconditional love from a place of trauma because they're too busy crying and sulking in their own tears. Yeah, we all been there. Don't lie, because you're only lying to you. You can't say that you haven't been there. If you if you haven't been to that place, then you've lived under a rock. You've hidden in a cave. And we know that's in this place of life that we're in, that's everything is techie now. You know, it's no more VHS tapes. It's no more VHS tapes. You know, it's no more cassette recorders. They say when things go in the cloud now, you can never retrieve them. Once it's put out in digital form, you can never retrieve them. Man, when I just think about love, because it's a thing that has carried me for longer than I can remember now. From a place of loving my kids and loving my spouse when I had a spouse, and now learning to love me. Because sometimes in life, we put so much commitment and effort to everything else but loving us. You been there before? I was there. Like, I had put so much stuff ahead of loving me, taking care of me, making sure that I was good, making sure that I was in a place of readiness to receive love. But you can't receive love when you're so busy dishing it out and you're trying to figure it out, and you're recovering from hurt, you're recovering from trauma. And so now your heart isn't even open to receive that love. The only way you can receive love is you have to be open and have an open heart and willing to give that same love that you want to receive. If not, that's a selfish act. That's, can I say it? That's fake love, man. That's fake love. And it can't any roses grow from fake love. Because at the end of the day, now you're putting on that facade that you have to continue. You must continue it. And now it's what they said, when you tell one lie, you got to tell another lie to cover that lie, to cover that lie, to cover that lie. And people are eventually going to see the lie, because you can't remember a lie you told 20 years ago. That's just not how it works. And that's not how love works. Oh, y'all. Man, my grandson is here. Look who wants to have Easter. Oh man, hey, see, this is love. Unplanned, in the middle of my podcast. My G baby is calling me to tell me Happy Easter. And he's so beautiful. Okay, Dad, got to call y'all back. Love you guys.
I know. Hey, I know you at your podcast.
It's okay. It's early.
Oh, you just started?
About 20 minutes ago. I got about 15 more minutes to go, I think.
Hey.
Huh?
How long your podcast gonna be?
I'm going to call you in 20 minutes.
All right.
All right, son. Love you. So, man, I was already kind of teary-eyed, man. Thinking about this topic today that's been on my mind for a few weeks. Yeah, it's tough for me right now. I ain't gonna lie, man, y'all. I've been loving on me so much. I cry almost every day in my heart. It feels great to just love me. Like I had to learn how to love me over the last 2 years. And it's a beautiful thing. Some of y'all need to go through this process that I'm going through of just loving you. And in loving you, you learn a little bit more about yourself every single day. You learn a little bit more about yourself every single day. Loving you is a great thing. Don't take that for granted. And we do. Okay. Y'all don't believe me, right? In Christianity, agape is the highest form of love, charity, and the love of God for man and of man for God. This is in contrast to philia, brotherly love, or philusia, self-love, as it embraces a deep and profound sacrificial love that transcends and persists regardless of circumstance. Excuse me 1 second, y'all. Sorry about that, y'all. I've been dealing with my sinuses for a minute now, and they just started to trickle. So again, I want to read this to you guys again because this is really important right here. And this is why love is broken. This is the very reason why love is broken. In Christianity, agape is the highest form of love, charity, and the love of God for man and of man for God. Because we won't allow ourselves to love each other as God loves us. We always find fault in someone or something to not give it our all. We always find fault in someone or something, so we do not have to love them unconditionally. So we do not have to give them the basic love that they deserve just for being human. You deserve to be loved just because you were created by God. Because we all came from the same place and space. What's that place in space? We were formed from dust. We all came from that place because we came from the same direct descendant. It doesn't matter that you were formed in your mother's womb. It doesn't matter that you came through her birth canal. We came from the same place in space. It says that he formed the shape of a body and blew life into that dirt. He blew life into that body that he formed. And that's where we all come from, a place of love. He blew life into us from a place of love. And even after all those years of fornication, killing, betrayal, denial. He loved us so much that he gave his only begotten son so that we may continue to live and enjoy the gifts of life that he has given us. Some of y'all gonna catch that later. Some of y'all may never catch it because of your selfishness. But when you stop hiding behind that veil of selfishness, then you're gonna become a better husband. You're gonna become a better wife. You're gonna become a better son. You're gonna become a better daughter. You're gonna become a better friend when you unhide yourself. When you show those feelings and emotional traits of life. And it's a good thing. You do not have to be demonic for the rest of your days. You do not have to be demonic for the rest of your days. It's okay if you give something. It's okay if you give more than you receive, because the gift is in giving. And we don't give any rewards anyway. You know that bag you got it because God was gracious enough to see you win. That's love. We didn't do anything. Grace is unmerited favor. That means that you didn't do a thing to receive it. What? You did? What did you do other than allow God to wake you up? Let's break this chain of selfishness. Let's break this chain of unwilling to show humanness. Be the sacrifice that you want given to you. Does that mean later? Yeah, it means lay down your life for your brother if need be. Lay down your life for your sister if need be. Your brother and sister doesn't necessarily mean someone that was born to you from your mother and or father. It's the woman or little girl you see in the street getting beat on. It's the person at the convenience store who we know is only looking for the spare change to buy alcohol or drugs. We still have to love them. We still got to love them. We may not like who they are. We might not like what they're doing. But it still got to be some love there. It still has to be. That's just how it has to be, because it could be you. It could be you. In the moment you think it's not, it's going to be you. Be grateful, be appreciative, be thankful. Love unconditionally and agape. Hey, my little short thesis, man, on the breakdown of love, and it's so much more. It's so much more. But from a basic standpoint, we must learn to love ourselves so that we can love others. And that's not from a place of selfishness. That's from a place of openness, oneness, forgiveness. Forgive yourself too for not loving you, for not loving you enough. I forgive me. Hey, right here. Love out loud. To thine own self be true. I hope I get this right. You are the light, be the light, let your light shine. You are the light, be the light, let your light shine. Hey, again, man, I want to thank my panelists, Anise, Alan, April, Alfred, Chad, Eddie, Lachey, Raven, Shapri, Deborah. Sorry, Deborah, I tried to do it in alphabetical order. I love you guys. You guys mean the world to me. Uh, can't do it without you guys. On deck, man. Season 5 on deck. Season 5. That's crazy. That's why, and I think someone I really admire said this. Was it rules just like limits are meant to be broken? I never imagined this. Hey, season 4, Life Off the Bench. That's it, man. That's it. Self high five. Hey, love yourself. Love yourself. Don't be afraid to love yourself. It's a really great thing. Remember, get off the bench, get into the game.